So, a lot of you guys are interested in Rukoy's PvP. For those of you who don't know what abbreviations are, PvP is player versus player. Now, Rukoy has a lot of different kinds of PvP. There's Guild Wars, you can have a regular 1v1, you could have a fight between teams, there's the arena, and then you really just have a bunch of PKs who are just player killers who constantly skull. They're just constantly running around looking for smoke. Now, this video is going to be an educational video. So while yes, it's going to be only PvP in this video, I'm going to be trying to help you guys become better at PvP in Rukoy. Via explaining why you do certain things and also explaining how you can confront different matchups. Now, what does that mean? Well, for starters, let me just put something on the screen that will help you understand. So, rock, paper, scissors. It's a very, if you can see, if you just put an arrow that's in a circle, you'll see which beats which. So, rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock. Now, what does this have to do with Rukoy? Well, in Rukoy Online, there's something called a class, just like every other MMORPG. And so, obviously, the classes stand for the rock, paper, and the scissors. Now, there are hybrids and there are tribrids. Rukoy Online has titles, so it'll be easier to refer to these classes as their titles. Now, the melee is a knight, the distance is an archer, and the magic is obviously a mage. So in Rukoy there are these titles. Now, your basic understanding of these titles is knight, archer, mage. You don't have to lock yourself into a single class. As a matter of fact, on the when you download the game, one of the things that Rick boasts is that you can actually switch your class at any time. Now, there's something called a hybrid and there's something called a tribrid. A hybrid is obviously a mix of two classes, and tribrid is obviously a mix of three. A hybrid, for example, will have two, and their defense will be subsequently a little bit higher. Okay, now let me tell you guys about some titles, because titles are a thing in Rukoy now. You earn titles via completing tasks. So there's these titles that have to do with mob slaying, but there's titles that have to do with skills and other things. So these titles will break down what I mean by hybrid and tribrid. Mystic and rogue are terms for mage being mystic, rogue being distance. Now, knight is the title for melee, so a mystic rogue is obviously a mix of distance and magic. A mystic knight is obviously a mix of of magic and melee, and so on. So a rogue knight, obviously distance and melee, and a mystic rogue is obviously magic and distance. So with these titles, it should be much easier for you to play rock, paper, scissors. Now, I understand that some of you guys are not very skilled at playing games in general, and that's probably why you're watching this tutorial. Some people just are not good. Some people just can't grasp certain concepts. Some people just have better stats than you. Some people are just better PvPers. but this tutorial will help all. Now, the rock, paper, scissors diagram. Okay, scissors is melee, paper is distance, mage is rock. Now, melee easily beats distance. Distance easily beats mage, mage easily beats melee. Now, I understand that it's not so straightforward and clear cut because obviously a mage can lose to a melee. It's not like you're just gonna be invincible and you're just gonna win by default. But this is just the way that it tends to go. Now, you're gonna see people say stand in chat. If you're PvPing, you're gonna be seeing people say, "Oh, he didn't stand," or how about standing this time?" That's because that's a person who's a melee main and they lost to someone who was kiting them. Now, kiting. Kiting is a term used for primarily mages, but dist actually can kite too. It's just when you're kiting with dist, you can target multiple targets, but when you're kiting with mage, you're pretty much focusing your fireball on one person. Now, a combo is striking with your special right after you strike with your regular attack. Now, what does that mean? It's literally the timing has to be impeccable. The timing has to be perfect. As soon as you auto is without using your special. So your sword's just regularly hitting. Autoing is when you can attack and you do not have to use your special. So look, as soon as my magic hits him, I use my special. You're going to see this tiny little flicker of light. If I could slow it down, as soon as that little flicker of light hits him, that's when I use my special because that's what a combo is. It gives you the most damage. And what I'm doing right here is kiting. I'm trying to run away. But you can also see that while I am standing against him, I'm taking way too much damage. You see, this person that I'm fighting right now is the perfect example of a mismatch. I have 240 melee, he has 290 melee. I have 290 magic, he has 220 magic. And our defenses are both about at 300. And our bases are only like 13 levels apart. So overall, you can see why this is a mismatch, because when he's standing and I'm standing, he's going to win with his melee. But when I'm kiting and he is also trying to use his magic to beat me because I'm kiting, he takes in more damage because my magic is higher than his. So that's what I mean by a mismatch. Now, one thing that you can do against a mismatch is switching. You see, while my melee is lower, your melee form still has a higher defense. What does that mean? So, your defense while you are in the knight form is just going to be higher. Like, there's an invisible stat, and your invisible stat goes down. So basically, whenever you go to magic or your mystic, you're basically going to take in more damage than when you are in your melee form. That's just the easiest way I can explain it. So, there's some bypasses and ways to get around fighting people that are stronger than you. For example, a recovery set. Recovery sets allow you to basically use a smaller heal for far more health. So if you can notice, or if you took notice, my heals started doing 1200 and 1400 once I switched my gear and put on the recovery set. But my magic buffs went away, so my magic just wasn't as high, or my defense went lower because I'm wearing magic gear instead of soldier gear. So basically, What I'm trying to say is there's going to be ways that you can win no matter what. And for now, I'm just going to go over them all very quickly so that you guys can get a good idea. Rock, paper, scissors. When you're melee and you are fighting someone who's dist or match, you are going to want to stay around corners and you're going to want to stay around stairs because they cannot shoot you around a corner and they will have to come around the corner to attack you, and that's when you can get them to come into your range. As you can see what was happening right then. Now he's running away, but he's not switching. So when you are melee and you are engaging with people who are attacking you from range, you need to stay around tight corners and you need to stay around stairs. Now, when you are trying to counter that as a person who has a ranged class, for one, your archer, your distance, you're going to have a lot more speed. You move faster because instead of giving you full distance buffs, distance gear, actually light armor, it gives you speed buffs. Now, that means that you're going to be able to take a little bit more daring moves. So, you don't have to hold down W, or in this case, you don't have to just run away so much. With a distance, you can attack better off. But for PvP, honestly, I've never really been fond of the distance, the archer class. But I know it's extremely good for farming and PvE. So I can't really tell you guys that much in a tutorial about how to use distance better. But mage is something that I am extremely fond of. I'm a mystic knight. So most people will tell you that magic is OP, but they aren't telling you that because they just love magic. I mean, most of them probably are. Magic is OP because of the damage output. A mage can literally combo for like the highest crits. It's ridiculous. Now, given if you're fighting someone on the same level as you, it doesn't really matter what class you're using. But if you're fighting someone stronger than you, I'd say the best thing to do is to use magic. If you're fighting someone weaker than you, the best thing to do is to use magic. Magic is just the answer all problems in my opinion. I don't like to stare in my PvP. So stairs is whenever you're fighting by the stairs and say you get low, so you can just go inside and then you're just waiting for them to follow you and then you go out. It's a type of mind game bullshit. I'm not into that. I would rather fight you in open grounds. So with mage, what I like to do is honestly I do a lot of switching. I like to entice them into chasing me or just have them think that they can fight me with melee because I show them my weaker stat first. I don't want them to be aware that I have a higher stat. And then once they think that it's a melee engagement, they will begin to chase because that's the only thing that a melee can do. And then kiting them is just so much easier from there, especially while you're running, you can switch your gear. To be honest, I believe that the best class in all is the Mystic Knight. You should probably have your mage and your melee about the same because then you can do all the jobs. So during PvE, you're going to have a good time because you can tank damage and you can also avoid taking damage at all if you want, if you already have a melee as your tank whenever you're farming or raiding. So just overall, I hope you guys understand my rock paper scissors diagram. I hope you can understand why a distance player would beat a mage. I mean, a distance player has so much more speed, and then the idea of a mage needing to run away and kite but they're being chased down by someone who has more speed and who is also range. It just goes to show that they kind of outclass them in that department. Now, I think you can understand why a distance versus a melee would lose. I mean, they're taking in more incoming damage because their defense is lower than that of a mage and that of a distance, I believe. I mean, a warrior for certain. So it just makes sense that this little cycle is the way that it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned a little bit something about PvP or about Rukoy. I know this video got a little bit long, but all for the development of your minds. This was Cliffy Senpai signing out. Leave a like and subscribe.